Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Faded Tales, the podcast where we step into the shadows of nature and bring out the creatures that are too often go unnoticed. And these are animals whose stories are at risk of fading away. And welcome back, everybody. My name is Zoya. I am your host for Faded Tales today. I have been doing this since last year, and this is going to be season 3 of Faded Tales. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy and learn about as much of the animals as you can. Now, today, we are going into the very heart of the African rainforest again, into a place where sunlight barely touches the ground and vines curl around ancient trees. It's here in the Ituri rainforest of the Democratic Republic of Congo that one of the strangest animals on Earth has been hiding. An animal so shy, so secretive, that for centuries, the outside world didn't even believe it existed. Can you believe that? It looks like a zebra. It also looks like a giraffe. And it also looks a little bit like a mistake. But it's not. It's a creature perfectly evolved for its hidden world. This is the story of the Okapi, also known as the forest giraffe, and the African unicorn. Yeah, and we'll get into that later. So, let's get into it. So, hello everybody. Welcome back. Now, let me tell you a little bit of this animal, the Okapi. Let me give you some first impressions, if by some miracle that you stumble across one in this forest. The Okapi stands about 5 feet tall at the shoulder, roughly the size of a small horse. Its body is covered in short chocolate brown fur, the kind of deep color that almost drinks in the dim light of the forest. But then your eyes drop down to its legs, and suddenly, stripes? Black and white bands, bold as a zebra's, wrapping around its hindquarters and fading down to its ankles. Why the stripes? Not for fashion. In the dampened forest light, these stripes break up the animal's outline. To predators like leopards, the Okapi doesn't look like a whole body. It looks like fragmented shadows. The stripes also serve another purpose. Calves, while following their mothers, focus on these contrasting patterns, like little road signs in the undergrowth, so they know where their mothers are going. As you move up to its head, and you'll see the family resemblance of giraffe. A long face, enormous soft eyes, and ears that swivel like radar dishes. Its tongue, a dark blue, almost black, stretches out like a ribbon, nearly 18 inches long. It can curl around the leaves, pluck fruit, and even clean its own eyelids and ears. Imagine a built-in washcloth that also happens to be your tongue. Though it doesn't look like it at first glance, the Okapi is a giraffe's closest living cousin. They split from a common ancestor about 11 million years ago. While giraffes reached for the sky, the Okapi stayed on the ground, blending into the shadows. Now, let's zoom out from the body and to its behavior. The Okapi is a solitary creature, unlike zebras or antelope. You won't find herds. A female will carve out a territory, usually overlapping with the territories of one or two males, but they rarely cross paths unless it's time to mate. They spend most of their day browsing, nibbling leaves, fruits, fungi, even clay from the ground to balance minerals in their diet. In fact, okapis are known to visit natural salt licks, returning again and again to the same spots, leaving behind deep footprints that other animals also use. Okapis are surprisingly silent. For decades, scientists thought that they didn't vocalize at all. But when researchers brought in sensitive microphones, they discovered mothers and calves communicate in ultrasonic whispers. Sounds too high-pitched for the human ear to hear. Imagine walking through the forest surrounded by animals holding conversations entirely beyond your perceptive. When calves are born, and the mother hides them in nests, depressions in the undergrowth, and the young don't move much for weeks. This strategy is called hider behavior. Is similar to what deer fawns do for their young. By staying still and scentless, as calves avoid predators, it is a strategy that depends entirely on the secrecy of the forest. Now, here let's get into the part where history is involved. For Congolese communities, the Okapi was no mystery. They had names for it, they hunted it occasionally, and they understood its habits. But for outsiders, for Europeans and during their so-called age of exploration, colonization, to be honest, but really it's the age of exploration, the Okapi was a ghost. The rumors drifted out of the forest in the late 1800s. It's about a mysterious striped donkey-like creature. European colonizers who already had taste for exotic trophies dismissed the stories as folklore. Some described it as a forest zebra, others claimed it was a kind of one-horned horse, and the African unicorn legend took hold. So let's get into more of the history. If they believed that this was not real, then how did we come to realize what the Okapi was? Well, enter Sir Harry Johnston, a British colonial administrator and explorer. In 1901, Johnston obtained 2 Okapi skulls and a stripe of skin with those distinctive stripes. He sent them to the Zoological Society of London, which confirmed this was no zebra, no donkey, and no unicorn. It was a completely new species to science. Think about it for a second. In 1901, just over 100 years ago, Western science finally acknowledged a larger mammal the size of a horse. That's astonishing. It's a reminder that the world was, and still is, bigger than our assumptions. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm an animal nerd. I am a huge animal nerd. I'm part of Lori Animal Rescue, and I try to go easy, quote unquote easy, for like the club fair when we had to guess the silhouettes of animals. I thought they were all quite easy, to be honest, except for the hard ones because I made them hard. But, however, I was proven wrong that they were not in fact easy. They were really, really difficult, even the easy ones apparently. Some people thought the silhouette of a red panda was a fox, which I get, but for me, I'm like, come on, the hint was right there in our logo. We have a red panda in our logo for Animal Lori Rescue. Anyway, back to where I was. I just wanted to actually get nerdy for a minute because I love animals, and if you're not like into as many animals as I am, or you're just listening for a relaxation, sorry about that. I'm gonna go nerd on you. The Okapi's body is a masterclass in rainforest adaptation. Its short neck allows it to move easily under the canopy. Its huge ears catch the faintest rustle of leaves, warning its predators. Its coat is oily, repelling water in a place where rain falls almost daily. Their digestive system is built for tough plant matter. They have a 4-chambered stomach, just like cows, that ferments leaves and fruit. And because they are selective feeders, they play an important role in shaping plant communities in the forest. By nibbling here and skipping there, they prevent certain plants from dominating the forest ecosystem, keeping diversity alive. Even their hooves are quiet, actually. Unlike hard clattering hooves of horses and all that jazz, Okapi's hooves are cushioned, almost silent when they walk. In the stillness of the rainforest, silent is survival. Of course, no animal exists without danger, so why is it's so rare to see? What are the predators? Well, in the wild, the Okapi's main natural predator is the leopard. A leopard can silently stalk through the undergrowth, and with its power and agility, it's one of the few animals capable of taking down an Okapi. Eagles may occasionally take calves, but the real predator, as with so many species, and I've told you many times, it's us. We are the Okapi's main predator. For the Okapi, threats are layered. First, habitat loss. Logging and mining oppressions cut deep scars into the rainforest. Roads open up previously inaccessible areas, fragmenting territories. Once again, habitat loss is one of the main ones. If you listen to my previous podcast, this is one of the main reasons of endangerment in animals. Anyway, second, it's not a surprise, is hunting. While okapi aren't usually hunted for international trade, they are sometimes killed for bushmeat or caught in snares set for other animals. And third, of course, it's conflict. This is a new one for you guys. So the Democratic Republic of Congo has experienced decades of political instability, war, and exploitation. Conservation is hard to prioritize when basic human survival is at stake. In fact, in 2012, militia groups attacked the Okapi Wildlife Reserve headquarters, killing several staff members and over a dozen captive okapis in retaliation for anti-poaching measures. It was a brutal reminder of how fragile conservation can be in a conflicted zone. But it's not all bad news. The okapi is now a flagship species for conservation in the Dominican Republic of Congo. The Okapi Wildlife Reserve, established in 1922, covers nearly 14,000 square kilometers. That is about the size of Switzerland. UNESCO World Heritage is protecting not only the okapis, but also elephants, chimpanzees, and countless plants and insects found nowhere else in the world. The Okapi Conservation Project, founded in 1987, works with local communities to promote sustainable farming, education, and anti-poaching patrols. The philosophy is simple. You can't save the okapi without supporting the people who share its home. And there's progress. Though still endangered, populations in some protected areas remain stable. Each okapi seen, photographed, or caught on camera traps is a small victory. So let's go on to the next segment. After my whole script, I'm probably going to rant to you guys about random okapi facts. So yeah, I hope you guys are ready for that. So why should you care about this animal? Why should you care about an animal you've never seen in the wild? Well, because the okapi is a symbol of humility in science. It proves that the discovery isn't just about telescopes or in space probes. Sometimes discovery is about listening to local knowledge, respecting hidden ecosystems, and being open to wonder. Because the okapi is an indicator, if it disappears, it tells us that the rainforest itself is collapsing. And with it, climate instability, carbon storage, and the livelihoods of millions. And finally, because the okapi reminds us that survival doesn't always mean being loud, flashy, or dominant. Sometimes survival means blending in, being patient, idly until someone finally notices. Yeah, it's really deeper than you think. This is an animal you guys have never heard of. It's probably one of the rarest ones and probably one of the ones you guys would never hear of. The only way I feel like you guys would know what this animal is if you watched a lot of nature documentaries. If you watched tons and tons of videos online about animals, that's the way you would only know. Because this animal is so rare and goes so unnoticed. Most people don't even know it exists. Well, in my notes, I told you about the person who actually found the skull and the hide. I want to talk about how the okapi was discovered. So I only gave you a brief version, so let's go. Okay, the okapi was discovered by Western science in the early 1900s, like I told you guys. It was known for indigenous community for centuries. There's little cave drawings of it, or somewhere in I remember seeing it. There was little cave drawings of the okapi. Anyway, explorers like Henry Morris Stanley, this is the person I never mentioned, he's the one who reported on the existence of the striped horse-like animal, and which led to the quest by Sir Harry Johnson. Johnson acquired the first specimen in 1901, leading to its scientific classification. And I know there was more about this. It's because I remember there's more to this story than I know, because I watch a lot of the PBS publications of called Storied and all that, and nature stuff. But for some reason, Ironic Rena's Storied is one of the ones that posted about the okapi. So they mentioned that the okapi, he was discovered and he had the hide and the bones, and then I think he went on an expedition with some locals and he actually found a living okapi. He actually found the living okapi, but he took the skulls out and hide as a gift afterwards. Somebody found it. I know somebody did. But I want you guys to know that okapis in general is one of the weirder trends. It shows that we don't know much of what we think is down there. We all think that we know everything on the planet now, on our land. into right now. And we think that the ocean is the one that goes undiscovered. But you guys don't realize there are many animals being discovered on land today, in present time, that were not classified before. Like subspecies of praying mantis was discovered around late 2010s, early 2020s. There was a praying mantis discovered, and it was named Latin name because every animal has a general name and then a scientific name. So praying mantis, their species name is Litogrusa. So like there's a species name and then the name of the thing. There's the scientific name and the other. Cause like there's like a subclass. So like big cats is Panthera, and then so for lion it would be Panthera leo, Panthera anca. Like there's all these things. But anyway, the Litogrusa cratorum. You guys were the Crab Brothers from your childhood. They did Zabumafu. They did a lot of documentaries, like shows on PBS, and the wild crats. Now they had a species named after them, and that was discovered in 2014. Actually, I thought it was later, but they were discovered in 2014, for example. So like every animal is discovered in a way. We are finding new animals that are discovered in our land, so it's not that surprising that the Okapi wasn't discovered. But like it kind of shows to you guys that like there is no certainty in the wild. It's always a mystery. It's always evolving, and we gotta do something to protect it, because like even animals evolve, you know that? Like animals evolve and change. I think another one. Okay, I'm going way off topic here because my script is so short, and I'm so sorry for that. But I'm going way off topic of the Okapi because I just want to rant about animals. Because I love animals and I never get to talk about it to anyone else. Anyway, so another example of like animals' behavior changing. So in India, there's the macaque monkeys. There's like, if you were from India or have been to India, you know they're like everywhere. They're like everywhere, like all around the city. They live in troops in the city, live in the forest, mostly in the city. And it's because of us that they live in the city, like us humans. So in India, they are treated like, I believe every Tuesday, I might be wrong, but they're on a specific day, they're fed and treated like gods because become a nuisance in India, but they are still treated well. So it's kind of a human's fault in a sense. So animals evolve, animals change, and there are new animals that are always discovered. Okapis are no different. So if you want to learn more about the Okapi, I recommend this one story. If you go and search up "Storied" on YouTube, you'll click a red. It be a red logo with a raven on it, and it's really interesting. But because the recent video that was posted 4 days ago as of recording is called "The Cryptid That Turned Out to Be Real," because like they actually thought there was a cryptid. So but they actually go really into detail of the history of what the Okapi was. So I really recommend you watch it. If you want to learn more about conservation, there is on National Geographic Animals, there is an episode where they have the Okapi, and the Okapi had given birth as well. There's that, and there was like it's a whole Disney animal kingdom. But anyway, if you want to learn about Okapi, just look it up on YouTube or on the web. There is the Okapi is spelled Okapi. That's how you spell Okapi, and you can actually look at it, and it's actually kind of a unique animal, and I love it. Animals are so unique, to be honest. I love animals. Oh my god, I'm going on a rant. I'm going on a rant, you guys. I'm going on a rant. Animals, I love them so much. So anyway, I am like a huge animal nerd. I don't know what happened to me to make me this huge animal nerd. Probably because of all the shows I watched when I was a kid. I used to watch Diego Go and learn about all the animals there. But then I moved on to the Zabumafu at night, and then I went to Wildcrats right after, which is kind of ironic because I went on both Crab Brother shows. I was obsessed with them. I was obsessed with animals and all that. I was obsessed with learning about them because I found them unique. And surprisingly, I'm not going into a career with animals. Yeah, I figured out my career, and it's not with animals, sadly. Probably because I couldn't take bio because of the pandemic. Wow. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna be. It's surprising to me even. I would be with animals if I wanted to. Maybe it's also because of allergies. I have no idea. Okay. Here's the outro. The Okapi doesn't roar like a lion. It doesn't grunt like a sprint like a cheetah. It doesn't tower like a giraffe. It fades into the shadows, to be honest. Its stripes dissolving into the leaves, whispers lost into the air. But maybe that's why the story matters so much, because if we don't care enough to protect it, the Okapi may vanish without most of the world ever realizing it was here. And that, to me, is the definition of a faded tale. Thank you guys so much for listening to Faded Tales, first episode back of the year. If you guys enjoyed today's story, share it with someone who loves strange facts, mysteries, or just wants to be reminded of that our world is full of hidden wonders. Until next time, stay curious and keep your ears open. The forest is speaking. Goodbye.